15th, 16th, 2023 here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Yesterday, I put in the bookmarks in the video comments there, whatever, in the description, and I'll continue to do that. You guys seem to like it. Most people, we got a lot of views on it, so you know what? I'll do it. It's just when people don't care, I don't want to do it. But if people care and they're going to do that, then obviously I'll do it. But anyways, yesterday, full card to NBA, man. I don't know, man. I think I overexposed myself, and then I didn't go to which doesn't sound good. But then I also think I just picked wrong, There's certain games like the Thunder game, you just lose. Square, it was all those other things, but I didn't care. But yeah. Happens. And then the two NFL games that I loved both of them, I didn't put in either of those, and they both won easily. I bet them both pretty significantly. That's 7,500 on the Bucks money line against the Eagles. Got plus 150 on my money on that thing.
Yeah, I was mad at myself. I didn't put that one in either, and I didn't have it, and then I had the Steelers. They had it until they didn't.
You're right, Jay. You suck. I agree with you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, you're right.
If you do this professionally and you do this, it is always the long game. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have bad weeks. You're going to have bad months. You're going to have bad years. It is going to happen. It's giving yourself the ability to weather the storm. That's all it really is.
Yep.
Because the system's going to work, but even like, the sharp trading and the dime club, it's like doesn't win every day, but when it rolls, it rolls. So even like my betting syndicate, in the last 18 months, they've had 2 losing months. So it's not just us, man. These guys are the best of the best, and we'll be introducing those guys more and more into what we do. I know Ant will be coming on, I believe, next week. You guys are gonna love this guy. Can't wait. And maybe I'll have Jay on for that interview too, because Jay will be pretty fascinated by this stuff. This is something he probably hasn't seen before. I think so this is what Ant said to me when we went out to dinner in Vegas, like with a bunch of people. First time I met him, I was like, hey, one of my partners, Micah, and who you guys know, saying, well, you should go on Mitch's show with him and talk about betting and betting strategies and how they make the lines and all those different things, because he's been the odds maker, at Bet Chris and at Pinnacle, 2 of the sharpest books out there. And he's like, well, and this is what he said about me, Chris, get this. This guy doesn't say anything. He doesn't even say a word. He's just sitting there. He's like, this guy doesn't talk at all. I was like, why would I want to be on his show? And I was like, I said, the reason why I'm not talking is because I'm actually listening to what you have to say, because I find it really, really interesting. I said, but most people would never say that about me. Yeah, it was just like, wow, mind-blowing stuff. But he says, and we'll get him on this too next week. He said when you read these articles on ESPN or wherever, and they say, oh, Vegas took a beating today or whatever, he says, he knows this stuff. He says Vegas has never had an NFL losing Sunday ever. I'm like, well, what about all the parlays, all the favorites win, all that? He said, nope, they've never lost.
I believe it.
I believe it too. Think about all the NFL Sundays that have been there for Vegas, and that it's the same. You have to look at it the same way with us. It's like you have to just be able to withstand your hits. And the thing is, like, people would say, oh, I only bet 3 games or I only bet whatever. Look at all the bets that they take in Vegas and all the different events, that the sports books take, right? So it's I can only bet 3 a day. If the sports books were like that, only doing 3 a day, they'd be out of business. For them, it's the opposite. They're doing every side of every game and every prop and everything. And I don't see too many sports books going out of business. Interesting, right? Chris, in case you were wondering for reference, you missed this weekend, but we came up with this This is Jay's do not bet list. It is the Carolina Panthers, Washington Commanders, Atlanta Hawks, and Shedeur Sanders for Heisman. Hashtag we coming.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not longer.
No, well, it's a work in progress. We got
Work in progress.
we got tape, and we can put more sheets on it, and we can do what we're gonna do is, you see under Jay's Blue Jay thing, we're gonna get 2 whiteboards. His I'm a fan and the do not bet. He's on the bandwagon. He's off. So we go to the second round of the NFL playoffs, the NFL playoff round. 8 teams left. I think every one of these teams that's left, whether it's, and here we go to the college football playoff, right? We say, are these the best 8 teams, right? I don't think it's the best 8 teams, but I think it might be. It was the best 8 teams last weekend, and there's not a team there that you say, well, they don't deserve it. And I think you could make an argument for some of these teams, whether they're the best, the best option there. But most of these teams have beaten one another, that are in this bunch here. So it's pretty interesting, Most of these teams have beaten each other. Well, we'll see what happens. Any lines there, Chris, that you think are just like way out of whack?
I wouldn't necessarily say out of whack, but I'm a little bit surprised that the Niners have opened at 10 against the Packers. I thought maybe it would have been closer to 7.5 or 8. With how well Green Bay's looked, and they've frankly been the second best offense behind the Niners over the second half of the season. So a little bit surprised that Green Bay opened as that heavy of an underdog. Same thing maybe for the Houston Texans as well, but I guess it's just perception. Just the 2 best teams in their respective conferences, and sort of the teams that maybe necessarily wouldn't have considered to be there.
How about you, Jay?
I'm probably going to bet every dog on the money line except for Green Bay. I'll probably lay it there with San Francisco, as I think it shakes out. I love the Ravens. I do. I love Lamar Jackson. 1-3 in the postseason, and Houston, we have a problem. Them boys is playing really well right now. I like what I'm seeing out of Houston. Hey, Baltimore's not the juggernaut I think everybody believes they are. San Francisco, I think they're the best team, just flat out remaining. I think I think they are. They got a great spot here against the Packers, probably a smash spot. Tampa, watch out for them boys, man. I've been telling you all year, they're a scrappy bunch. Baker is not nearly playing as bad as the media tries to portray he'd be playing. Looked all right last night. I love Detroit, but they've only got 1 playoff win in the last 30 years. Did they use all their magic to get that one last week? We'll have to see.
Sure looked like they left a lot out there.
And then, I've been a hater. I'm on record. I am a hater. I'm taking 1-5 though. It's just that simple. I'm taking 1-5. The best quarterback likely ever. Mahomes, I was watching some shit yesterday. He has 16 playoff wins. That's better than, at this point in his career, anybody. You can give me any name other than probably Brady. Mahomes is more than Manning, more than Elway, more than it's crazy when you really.
But a lot of the great quarterbacks, Jay, what you also have to remember is that a lot of the great quarterbacks played in less rounds of playoffs. And, that's a lot of these records are like this. The same thing with Major League Baseball, a lot of these hit records and home run records and all this stuff. There was a lot fewer games. Like when Babe Ruth played in the World Series and in the postseason, there was only the World Series. There wasn't even the championship. There was just the World Series. So you can only imagine what his numbers would have been, And there's a whole bunch of guys like this. When I was younger, there was no wild card round. There was 3 divisions and 1 wild card team. So guys that played in a lot less games. So like Joe Montana has more Super Bowls than this guy. And arguably, totally different style player, so tough to put those together. But you look at a lot of these postseason records and stuff, and it's not apples to apples. So it's like I don't think
In
it's
my
the same.
case, I think it is 6 seasons, 16 playoff wins is insane. So and I'll stack that up with anybody. With anybody, I will. I'm taking 1-5, man.
Well, a couple of years ago, they were talking about how quickly Bill Belichick was going to pass Don Shula. Now he's interviewing for the Falcons job. They don't even have Chick-fil-A open on Sunday in the stadium. It
You're
doesn't
right.
make sense.
You're right.
So it's
I
like,
don't think there's any way on earth he goes to Atlanta. I don't. I think that was just a dot in the I crossing a T. Atlanta don't make sense to me, at least. What you think, Roof? That's the guy.
Yeah, no, I don't see him going to Atlanta. It's not the right fit. He wants to go to a team with a solid defense, and he can pass the offense off to somebody else and have them handle it. It's a young offense, but we saw it's an offense that's maybe a year or two away from being a year or two away.
in the NFL, you can go from worst to first in a hurry, man, if you do it right.
I'm still on the same hill I've been on since the middle of the season. I think he's going to LA, bro. I think that's where he's going. The Chargers. Take the Chargers.
I don't think so. I think he's going to Dallas. And
nah.
Yeah. And
Yep.
I think that I agree with a lot of your guys' takes. But I love the Bills over the Chiefs. They're going to stomp them. This is not a good Chiefs team. Mahomes has never won a road playoff game. He hasn't been.
He hasn't had. Right. Yeah, I was going to say he hasn't had to.
Well, I would say this about the Chiefs and their run that they've had, and to take nothing away from them, because they have earned their spot in a lot of these games. They have had a lot of fortunate calls go their way. I mean, a lot of them. He's not unbeaten in playoff games. I mean, he's not unbeaten in Super Bowls. I'll tell you who was unbeaten in Super Bowls was Terry Bradshaw. Man, he didn't want 4-0 in Super Bowls. Joe Montana unbeaten in Super Bowls. There's been a bunch of quarterbacks that have a good amount of Super Bowls. That I mean, if you've won 4 Super Bowls as a starter, it's like that's pretty good. And so I think there's been a lot of quarterbacks. They do it different ways. I think Mahomes, the jury's out. And, of course, he plays under a different set of rules than all these other guys played under, too. I think, for me, that's a big part of it with the NFL when they do these apples, when they just think it's this one-size-fits-all, thing. And they say, oh, he broke the record, and it's the most ever, and all this other stuff. And that's how you get, people going into yesterday's game thinking Najee Harris is a legitimate offensive option, I mean, he's a stiff. He's a stiff. And they took him out in most of the key spots. They took him out and put the other guy in. He's a stiff. An absolute stiff. And he's the whiner, crybaby, and all those other things combined. And when push came to shove, he didn't even show up.
Super Bowl prediction, divisional round edition.
12 carries for 37 yards for Najee Harris. He had 2 catches for 15 yards.
Of course, my Super Bowl is busted with Dallas going down. I'm going Niners, Chiefs. It's my Super Bowl. Mitch?
Packers, Bills.
Packers? Jordan Love?
Yep. Packers, Bills.
Roof?
Texans, Lions.
Texans, Lions? Texans, Lions would be insane. That would be insane. All right.
Grandpa is stuck on yesterday. Is that me?
Yeah.
Okay. Grandpa stuck on yesterday. That was cold, man. That was cold. Wow. All right. All right, let's
Small
get to
card.
it. Yeah, small
Hey,
card,
man.
but all playoff games. So we'll take it. Could be a preview of the NBA Finals. We got the Nuggets taking on the Sixers. Chris, have you heard of either of these teams?
They knew. I don't know. I can't recall ever hearing about either of these teams personally. But it's hard for me to pass up 3 points with the Denver Nuggets. But I think I got to take the Sixers at home in this one. Bunch of guys listed as questionable for Denver, and I don't want to be taking any sort of chances with that. The key guys for Philly are not on the injury report: Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris. And this Sixers team just plays well at home, 15-6, both straight up and against the spread. Give me the Sixers laying the 3 points.
Yeah, I'm taking the Sixers here too. I love the Nuggets. I do. But again, what's our saying with Denver? They go stupid, dummy, crazy at the crib. Just look at their home record the last couple seasons, and you'll see that most of their losses when they lose are out on the road. Um, Philadelphia, they're not a hard team to figure out. There's two trains of thoughts in this game. You either take Nuggets money line or you lay it with Philly here, and I'm gonna lay it with Philly. When Philly wins, they cover. When they lose, of course, the other team typically wins outright. Um, I know Philly's on the back end of a back-to-back, but this is what their fifth home game last 6 games. The Nuggets are coming off a pretty significant homestand. I believe Jokic is the best player in the NBA. I tell you guys that all the time. I believe 80% of the league believes that Jokic is the best player in the league, but there's this stigma that Joel Embiid, cried about his MVP and got it last year. You look at every statistic, it was Jokic. But the thing is because of that, because he feels like he might be getting slight, I just feel like Embiid comes out here tonight with fire in his eyes and makes a regular season game more meaningful than it technically has to be. That's my story. So taking Philly in Philly. In the grand scheme of things, does this game mean much? I don't think so. But tonight at home in Philly, I'm on the Sixers.
I like chicken Philly. I don't really have the regular Philly because I don't eat red meat, but I have the chicken Philly. It's a nice sandwich. Got to toast the bread a little bit on the outside. Anyways, but I like the Sixers in this one. I don't know. I'm not as emphatic about this game as a lot of people are. I just think all these NBA games today are so hard. I think Jay needs to have a new graphic on the jam session. I'm going to make a suggestion. These are not parlays every 5 minutes or every 3 minutes because it seems that a lot of people get confused. Yeah, it's like it's your most asked question. Most asked question.
I don't even respond to it anymore because it's like,
I know, but if you just put it on the screen, just a couple times throughout the video, like if you just had a graphic and you said, these are not parlays, like every 3.5 minutes or something, boom, just quick for 10 seconds. And then that way, you'd only get it asked 400 times a week instead of 450. I don't know, man. I always think, are these money line or are these against the spread?
Just listen and you'll understand.
I never get it, man. I never get it. Anyways. Got our next game up. This one's the Kings are playing against the Suns. Jay, what do you think of this one?
Kings. The Suns are in the same boat for me as the Atlanta Hawks. They're just a continuous fade and the gift that keeps on giving. I understand that they're getting healthy and they might start to get better here soon, but laying 4.5 with them, I just can't do it. Won't do it. I don't really love Sacramento either, But I think this is a legit 50-50 game. I think Sacramento has a legitimate shot to win it outright. And y'all know how I feel about 50-50 games. I'd rather A, have the points in my back pocket, or B, attack the plus money. So that's what I'm going to do here with the Kings, who have been the much better ATS team this season.
I'm with you. I like the Kings also. I don't know, man. The Suns just have not been able to put it together, but they are definitely improving. I think, we'll go through these games, and then I'll have something else that I want to bring up about NBA after this. But then, but I like the Kings here. This is the Kings spot, man. Road dog. This is where they live, man. These are our Kings. Chris?
Yep, I'm taking the Kings and the points as well. The Suns 6-12 as a home favorite this year against the number 7-15 overall at home, and the Kings 6-2 against the spread as a road dog. So give me the Kings and the points.
All right, well, that was quick and succinct. Nice. This is really nice. Chris. Practicing a little bit. Kind of like
trying to.
One or two sentences.
Pretty much.
Nice. What'd you have for breakfast?
Nothing this morning.
Maybe that's why you're
fasting.
Maybe that's why you're crabby. You're fasting?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
Starting it.
All right. Good for you. Intermittent fasting?
Yeah, trying to see how it works.
All right.
Any excuse to stuff myself as much as possible in an 8-hour period in a day.
I'm proteining it up. I've been working out, so gotta eat my protein. Jacked. Got
the shakes are working for you.
I do shakes, protein shakes, whey protein shakes with almond milk, and then I do. I got these egg things that my wife makes, which takes the eggs, blends them up with cottage cheese, puts some turkey bacon in there, some scallions, some Gruyere cheese, bakes them in muffin tins, little egg things, and I have cottage cheese, and then I protein bars, doing the whole thing. Just chicken with nothing else. Yeah, it's a real enjoyable life I'm living. This is what happens. Thing is, I don't want to be one of those people that grows old and is like living on medication and on machines and right? It's like you got a choice, man. You could either let it own you or your health. You could either control it or let it control you. And I'm at that age. We all know that. Grandpa. Clippers against the Thunder. I don't know, man. The Thunder really did me dirty last night. I thought they were going to be better than that. I think they bounce back here. I don't care what anybody says. And I know everybody's off the Thunder, which makes me on the Thunder. Thunder buddies for life. Chris?
Yeah, I'm taking the Thunder as well. It's hard for me to envision them struggling to close in back-to-back games. And for how well this Clippers team has done to turn around their season, they're still just 11-9 against the spread at home on the year. OKC 6-2-1 against spread as a road dog, 4-1 on no rest. Give me the Thunder and the points.
Word for word, bar for bar. I mean, this line don't even make sense. I think the Thunder are flat out, just straight up, the better team. I told you guys yesterday, my pound rankings go Boston, Oklahoma City, Denver. They fell flat yesterday. Revenge spot for the Lakers at home, who have to start winning games, or they're the 11th seed, the Lakers. So that was an absolute must win for them yesterday. I think this line is super inflated because of the back-to-back for the Thunder. But like Roof said, they're 4-1 this season off no rest. So that's a non-factor for me. Again, let me say it one more time. I think the Thunder are flat out the better team. Only reason, LA's LA and Oklahoma City's Oklahoma City. LA gets the media coverage of LA and Oklahoma City gets the media coverage of Oklahoma City. And this line is indicative of that. I think the Thunder win this game straight up. I'm taking Thunder Buddies.
I think it's not a bad spot for the money line. I'm kind of with you there. I wouldn't mind it. Not mad at you for it. As Wayne says. So, I want to talk about the NBA just another second here. I was looking at yesterday's card. I always start before this show. I'm already handicapping tomorrow's games. Always. Even though we're not sure who's in and all that other stuff. A lot of things I do in my handicapping has nothing to do with who's playing and who's not. But, some of it does, but usually the line will adjust that, and then it just kind of falls into one place or another. But when I look at tomorrow's NBA card, after today's, basically playoff game card, I think it might be time to jump on some of these shit teams. There always seems to be a point in the season, like last year, you jump on the Magic. A few years ago, it was the Sixers and the Nets, and you just find that comfortable spot. And I think it's time to get on the Pistons. I think it's time. The Spurs, had 6 covers in a row. Did not cover yesterday, but I like them to cover tomorrow in Boston. They're going to be getting a bundle of points in that game. And the Celtics defense is middle of the road, man. And when you look at the Spurs defense and you look at this cover streak that they've been on, their defense is actually improving along the way. They're ranked like 23rd or 24th now in the NBA. That's like, a gigantic jump for them. It's not, it's certainly not where you want to be, but they're not playing for a championship. They're playing for a draft choice. They got 7 wins of this team. I don't know. I was looking at this stuff, and it just seems that maybe some of these teams, it's time to go. Of course, you don't see me on the Hornets or anything against the Pelicans tomorrow, but at the same time, what do you think, man? You think some of these teams, if we get the right numbers, because we're going to start getting the right numbers. Like, how many points do you think we're going to be getting in that Spurs Celtics
15?
game? Yeah, 15 plus. 15 and a half.
Y'all are crazy. Think I'm taking San Antonio and Boston? Stop it. I'm laying 20 plus in that game.
See, but you and everyone else,
I am. But you're right. Your overall sentiment, I think, is accurate. That you are going to be able to find spots with the bad teams. I'm just laughing at that spot. I'm not betting that spot. But, like, your Hornets, you might be able to find some spots with them. Your Trailblazers of the world, your Grizzlies of the world.
The books are not just going to continue to give away money on these favorites. It doesn't work like that. They're not going to win games. It's going to be like how the Magic were last year. They're not going to win games in the way the Nets and the Sixers were a few years ago. I'll tell you, the only thing that really, when the Cavs had the Nets draft choice and were rubbing it in everybody's face, oh, yeah, we're going to be great next year. We got the Nets draft choice. That's when they decided to start playing. No, Wemby's not good. We know that, but people are starting to figure that out. He will be good in the future, but it's just a work in progress. It's like Bronny at USC, same thing. Like Costi was like, oh, it all falls on Bronny James. It's like he's on the bench, man. He's not even a starter. What are you talking about? It's like that's the perception.
He did start, and he went 0 for 7.
So he started one game. But he's not like
he started one game I'm saying though he started and went 0 for 7.
It doesn't mean that he's going to be Scoot, It just means that you're a high school kid. You're going to the next level. You're playing in the Pac-12. It's not like they put him in the Marist game or something, or against Portland. They put him in a Pac-12 game, man. Everyone can play. If you can play Division I college basketball in a major conference especially, you can flat out play, man. There's only 5 guys on the floor. It's not like he's a walk-on. It's not like he's playing against walk-ons. Who did they play?
I want to
Colorado, right? Colorado. We coming.
Okay, yeah.
We coming.
Hey, we
coming. Yeah. It's like you kind of got to, he was used to playing against high school kids and good high school kids, but also not everyone in high school was good. But it's a whole different thing taking it to the next level. You know who's the prime example of this in football? Lewis Burden. 2 years ago, coming out of high school, basically he could do whatever he wanted in high school. No one could lay a glove on him. Then he moves into the SEC, and it's like he's good. You can see the flashes, but he's not consistently good. And then this year, breakout, right? Missouri, he's a good reason why Missouri made it, to where they did, and then beat Ohio State, when they got there. Love Luther Burden. He's our guy. He has not declared for the NFL draft. He likes it there.
I'm putting in Missouri futures for a national championship next year. Going to be loaded.
Going to get your Eli Drinkwitz bobblehead?
They've got Burden. I don't know if Brady Cook is coming back, but they had Cody Schrader. Again, I don't know if he's leaving for the draft. Nate Noel's going from App State. He's a good running back. They got someone else going. It's the name's escaping me right now. But that offense is going to be loaded.
I like Georgia. Anyways. We coming. Speaking of go to college hoops, do you have a chance? Sixers, Clippers, Suns, money line. So 3 favorites on the money line. We all took the Thunder in the other game. Jay and I both took them on the money line, so I'm missing it. Jay, are you supposed to parlay those or play them individually? It's like, this is the same question. It's the same question. Is he parlaying these? They do the same to Ron. Same thing. They do it to me on my 7 free picks. They're not even my freaking picks. And they're saying, this guy sucks. Which is fine, but it's like, you could say I suck in general, but those aren't my picks. This guy never wins. This guy never wins. Never. Mitch is deleting comments. That's another one they say. That's a new one. Mitch is out there deleting comments. Got news for you guys. It's actually Google. It's YouTube that if they have a way to they have AI and they can tell if the comments, they don't want that stuff. They moderate for me. Put them in the, Anyways. Chris, what do you got to say for yourself? What are you selling today?
Got a couple of standalone plays, one from the NBA and college hoops and NHL. Also got hoops and hockey 3-pack and college hoops 5-pack.
Who's in the college hockey? Who's in the hockey 3-pack?
There's how many games are there in the NHL today?
I don't know.
If
there was zero,
There's 8 hockey games today, so I got 2 of those and an NBA play as well.
Nice. Sounds like a good time.
Great time.
Get a bag of Cheetos, maybe what's that stuff? The mix, where you got the Cheetos, the Sun Chips. Mix? Yeah, Sun Chips, pretzels, and Doritos. I'm familiar with it. Jay, you like the hot version of that, or you like just the regular?
Of what?
Of the Munchies mix. It's the Cheetos, the Doritos.
I don't like the Munchie mix.
No, not the Sun Chips. Too healthy for you.
I like the Sun Chips. It's the Chex Mix.
There's no Chex Mix. There's no Chex Mix.
No Chex Mix.
It's only Doritos. No. It's only the 4 food groups: Doritos, Cheetos, pretzels, and Sun Chips. That's it. Just the 4 basic food groups. That's it.
Jay's confusing with Chex Mix.
Yeah, Jay's confusing with Chex Mix.
I still don't like the Munchies. I like Sun Chips. I like Hot Cheetos. I like Doritos. And I like pretzels. But together, I'm good.
It's crack. Together, it's crack. Trust me.
Okay, I'm going to just say it. What the fuck's the matter with you?
Yeah. I think, Chris? I think he's making a judgment call without trying it.
I think so.
All right. We'll put it.
Sure, the munchies, them little square things in them.
No, it does not.
No.
See what's gonna happen in Vegas.
Are you thinking of like bits and bites or something like that? Like,
Yeah, we're gonna stiff Jay with the $900 breakfast bill, and we're gonna give him the $1.49 bag of munchies to try. We'll get him the hot and the regular. I'll spring the whole $3.
Adam, I'm good.
I don't think so. Doesn't sound like it. Not convincing. You're thinking about mud things or whatever those are, like those chocolate-covered Chex Mix or something. Weirdos. We could get into a Rice Krispie treat discussion here. That's like at my gym, like, what would you guys like to do? Is there any group events you'd like to do? I would say cookie exchange, ice cream social, man. They get mad. Anyways, college hoops. Tennessee versus Florida. Western Carolina versus Samford. Xavier versus Butler, the Bulldogs. Alabama versus Mizzou. Duquesne versus Richmond. Indiana versus Purdue. Ohio versus Central Mich. Maryland Bowling Green. Akron. Western Mich. Eastern Mich Ball State. Toledo, Buffalo, Indiana State, Missouri State, Pitt, Syracuse, NC State, Wake. Wow, a lot of games here. Cincinnati, TCU. Chris, anything in this slot that makes it work for you?
Yeah, I like Indiana State laying the 11.5 against Missouri State. This Indiana State, one of the best offensive units in the country. And I just don't think that Missouri State's going to be able to keep up. Both Missouri State's conference wins this season. Coming against Evansville. I think they're going to have some issues here up against Indiana State, so I like the Sycamores there. I also like TCU. I liked it a lot more when it was around 3.5, but I'll still take it at 2.5 against Cincinnati. I don't know who wins that game, but I think it comes down to the last shot. Both these teams have played close games so far in conference play, and I think we got another one brewing here, so I like TCU plus the 2.5 in that one. Those are the two I like.
Give me Tennessee. They're going to mop the floor with Florida. Mop them up. Double-digit win there. Give me Indiana against Purdue. Fading Purdue is not for the weak-hearted, but I am going to do it. Indiana at the crib. Come on, bro. Let's hoop. And then I got to fade Ruffolo. I'm taking Cincinnati. Bounce back at the crib. This is a Big 12 play. I just feel like in the Big 12, more so than any other conference, like that home court shit is like the end-all, be-all. And I just think that it's going to be a huge factor here. The Big 12 is tough this year. It's tough. But I'm going to rock with Cincinnati laying the 3.5 at the crib.
I like Syracuse against Pitt in the rematch. The world is on Pitt to get revenge here, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be the same result that we just saw at the Dome. I'm going to take the Cuse. I just think they're the more talented team. Most of these teams out there, they don't like Pitt. They don't like them. Munchies is just a party in your mouth. Chex Mix is garbage. There's also Cheetos. You might be thinking about Cheez-It Mix, Jay. With the
that might be.
Yeah.
That might be what I'm talking about. That's nasty.
Cheez-Its have Cheez-Its, a pretzel, some puffy things that are unrecognizable, sort of half Cheeto balls, and then they have like a toast point, like a weird piece of toast or something in there. Like
Cheez-Its snack is disgusting. The Munchies, they're not bad, but I still don't like them either.
It's just the 4 basic food groups. You could actually, if you apply yourself, if you really, you could always just separate it out on a piece of paper for yourself.
I'm the type of person, like, even on Thanksgiving, I got to have one of those plates that are separated. Like, I don't like my juices mixing. Like, I don't know. It's like everything.
I used to be like that when I was younger. And this is what everybody says to you. It's all going to the same plate. Jay As Jay's returning his sandwich to Chick-fil-A for having pickles on it. That's like my wife. It's like my wife orders like with no pickles when she gets a grilled cheese. If there's pickles on the plate and a little bit of the juice touches the grilled cheese sandwich, it's the dirty look and it's going back. Same thing. But I do like Syracuse against Pitt. I think the Cincinnati line against TCU is a little bit on the odd side. And I like NC State against Wake Forest because some guy wrote like 100 Wake Forest comments in the comments, and just enough. Like one is good, and then go back and edit it. You don't need to have like 30. It's a lot. It's a lot. Got Kansas State against Baylor. We've got SMU versus Temple, Rice, Charlotte, Dayton, SLU, NIU, Kent State, Seton Hall versus St. John's. Love me the Big East. South Carolina against Georgia, border war. Colorado State against the Force. Penn State versus Wisconsin, line dropper. Arkansas versus Texas A&M, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Oak State, Kansas, BYU, Iowa State, Fresno versus San Jose State, Boise State, UNLV, New Mexico versus Utah State. This is the type of card where Rod Zawacki changes his hat 3 times throughout the day. Chris, what are you thinking?
Jeez, that caught me. Give me Clemson laying the 11.5. Actually, no, sorry. Give me the over in that game, over 150.5. Clemson, best offense in the ACC so far this season from an efficiency standpoint, but the worst defense. Think that there's going to be plenty of points scored in that game. Georgia Tech's been involved in some high-scoring games already this season, so what's one more? Give me the over, Clemson, Georgia Tech. And give me Colorado State laying the big number against Air Force. Air Force just can't score. And Colorado State, even if they play a bit of a slower pace, they're still more than capable to win this game by 20 plus. So give me the Rams laying the points there.
Jay, what do you think?
We did rest of the card, right?
Yep.
Kansas State, kind of my same thinking I had with Cincinnati, bro. This Big 12 play, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it's tough at home. I mean, that's why that line's so short. I think Kansas State actually upsets Baylor in that one. I'm going to stay in the Big 12. This time I'm going to take the road team. I'm going to take Kansas. Oak State is they just don't got it. They just don't got it. They're probably the weakest team in the Big 12. Kansas might be the best there. I'm going to take Kansas there. Staying in the Big 12, that's my country there. I'm taking BYU. Same story. I love Iowa State. I was on Iowa State recently. Iowa State, I think, is really, 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 really good at home. On the road, I think is where we see them struggle most. I think it's a bounce back spot at the crib for BYU. I think that line is indicative for a reason. I think BYU bounces back in that one. Good slot. Give me Texas A&M against Arkansas on the road. Tough game. Not one of my favorite games. I'm not rushing to the window for this one, but I do believe it's the right play. A&M showed us some when they went into Kentucky, when they were at the crib and beat Kentucky. Arkansas, they've been free falling. They've lost 3 straight. Auburn, UGA, Florida. I'm not really high on none of those teams. I see A&M winning that game.
Yeah, we got a douchebag in the comments. Chris Fisher, how come there's no mention of the spread in the NBA games? Pretty sure we did mention the spread in these games, and we don't list them with the spread because everybody knows the spreads and the spreads change. It's like, look at any of our videos, they all have the spread on the screen, and I think everybody here is sports better, so we all know what the spread is. If you'd like To know what the odds are, send me an email. I'll send you a link to the odds page. I think we even talked about the Kings and how they're road dogs, and Jay mentioned the points there and no way they're going to win by 4. And I said, yeah, the Kings have been covering as the road dog, and we mentioned favorite and dog and all that other stuff. I'm beside myself.
Man, the NBA make me mad, bro. Y'all, NBA be watching my videos. Look, NBA came out with their power ranking 6 minutes ago. You want to hear them?
Thunder Buddies.
Number 1. Who you think they got?
Celtics.
They have the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, number 1. Then they got Boston 2, Denver 3, Minnesota 4, LAC 5. The NBA has the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies as the number 1 team in the league. Man, that's insane.
I like SMU against Temple, man. Temple 360th ranked in shooting percentage, 327th ranked in shooting the 3. They shoot less than 30% from the floor. And SMU, the second best defense in the entire college hoops, number 1 against defending the 3. You know what that means? 85-6 will be the final score of this game. Going to be an ass kicking by Smoo. I also like Utah State on the money line against the Lobos at the Pit. I'll just continue to fade Richard Pitino till the cows come home. It hasn't been all that profitable for me since they're 7-1 against the number at the Pit this year. But I will just continue to roll with Utah State, who has won 15 games in a row. $15 in a row. I also like Seton Hall against St. John's getting the 1.5. Seton Hall just won a close one, gutted it out, and St. John's lost a close one, gutting it out. I'll take the team that gutted it out. All right. Skate on over to the NHL. Jay's miffed. I haven't seen Jay this pissed since Zach Pest got through the pick 6 against the Packers. No news out of Dallas, huh? Jim Harbaugh in town.
Not yet.
Well, at least Jason Kelsey retired.
At least them Eagles lost, man. That was the one bright spot of my day yesterday. Put a smile on my face. Sirianni gone?
I don't see it. Don't see it.
You think they keep him?
Yeah, why not? He made it to the Super Bowl last year. Got to at least give him another year.
I think he lost. I think he lost the locker room over the end of the season, though, is the concern.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say Vrabel goes to Philadelphia. I think they do end up firing him, and then he goes to Philadelphia. Vrabel
He's already fired. He's already fired.
No, I'm saying I think the Eagles fire Sirianni.
No. He would be fired already. If they're firing him, he'd be fired already.
The game was just last night. Still, it's not even 24 hours removed.
Yep. Normally it's that fast. Yep.
What do you think, Roof?
Yeah, I think he's done. They already said that the seat was going to be hot and that he wasn't. That firing him wasn't out of the question. I don't know.
You said you knew, and then you said you don't know.
No, I'm saying. Well, I'm saying it. I think he gets fired, but he said anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Nice.
Is there anything here? Trying to see if there's anything that they've said anything.
Twitter is the funniest place on earth. I swear to God. No, take that back. It's the second funniest place on earth. The funniest place on earth is the comments of TikTok. Oh my God. Y'all think the YouTube comments be bad? You ever want a good laugh? Find a funny video on TikTok and read the comments. They take it to a whole nother level. But this tweet says Baker Mayfield had his hand in the dirt playing scout team defensive line last year with the Panthers. Now he out winning playoff games. It was funny. They got the picture to support it. They said the Carolina. Somebody quoted it. The Carolina Panthers are the worst organization in the NFL. Oh man.
It happens.
Happens.
All right, skate on over to the NHL. Rangers smoking Kraken. Ottawa Senators. If they disappeared off the face of the earth, would anyone notice? How long would it take people to notice if the Senators just stopped playing games?
Yeah, a month.
Versus the Avalanche. The Capitals up against the Ducks. The Star versus the Kings. Chris, any of these four beauties just say, bet me now.
The Stars. The Kings snapped their losing streak yesterday, but I'm not jumping back on them after one game. The Dallas Stars, I think, are just a better team. And if the losing streak continued, this price would be minus 170. So give me Dallas here, minus 134.
Me too. That line don't even make sense to me. The Kings, they've been ass on this road trip that they're on. One win over the Hurricanes is not enough for me to say that they're just going to flip the road trip on its head. This is their, what, 6th or 7th straight road game? Like Ruth said, man, we're just a better team playing the better hockey, bro. Short price, sign me up. I'm on the home team.
Taking the Avalanche on the puck line. I'm also going to just parlay up the Avalanche on the money line with the New York Rangers on the money line. I just think those are just too easy. I also like the Anaheim Ducks on the puck line. So actually like 3 of the 4 games. It's crazy. This mother puckers. Keep parlaying them up. If you need to. If you need to. Got the Jets, Jets up against the Islanders. You've got the Blackhawks against the Sharks. The Flames against the... Jay, you're going to do the noise for the team there. And the Zawackies up against the Maple Leafs. Chris, anything here?
Give me the Zawackies against the Make Me Laughs. Edmonton on this double-digit win streak. No point in stepping in front of them with a Leafs team that's inconsistent right now. They've lost 3 in a row. The goaltending situation is a mess. This team has offensive potential. Whenever they step onto the ice, they could score 4 or 5 goals a night, but it hasn't been like that lately. And Edmonton winning games with defense, not something I thought we'd say about the Edmonton Oilers. So give me Edmonton on the money line.
Give me the Coyotes, money line. Revenge. Calgary got us the other day. We finna go to that crib and get it back in blood, as the young folk will say. And give me the Sharks, man. I've been on them San Jose boys, man. They bit me in the ass the other day against Buffalo. But the Blackhawks are terrible. And the Blackhawks shouldn't be favored over anybody. That's my story. I'm sticking to it and taking the Sharks. I kind of want to take Ruffolo team, man, but I'm not gonna do it out of the simple fact that I took his other team yesterday and they bit me in the ass. So I lean Maple Leafs, but because the Raptors didn't get it done yesterday, I'm not gonna bet it. But the spot to me just yells, this is the spot that Edmonton falls off.
You're already old. Is that me? That's fine, man. I was young once. Trust me. Not a big deal. But I didn't act like these people calling all these people old. I'll tell you that much. This way. And I got news for you. I'll bet 99 of the people that call me old in the audience, which is all fine and well. I'll bet you 99% of you don't look half as good as I do at my age. Not even close. I've been to my high school reunion. I actually went to 2 high schools, so I've been to 2 different reunions, and I can tell you that for a fact. See, I was young. Here. There you go. Anyways, taking the Islanders against the JTS Jets because, Chris, why am I doing that? Because
Betting tool saw something?
Yes, they said in this that it says the Jets are the Islanders' bitch.
Okay, I missed that one.
Yep, it says that the Islanders have won 7 in a row against the Jets. They've also covered 7 puck lines in a row against the Jets. I'm old. You should come up with something better than that, man. Find some deformity I have or something. Poke at that. Maybe like a handicap. Be original, man. You'd rather just go for race and religion. You've already proved you're scummy enough. All right. I guess it's parlay time.
Parlay, 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 parlay. Parlay. What you got for me, Roof?
I got. Let's go with Indiana State, the Dallas Stars, and the over in Georgia Tech Clemson.
3 dogs, 4 dogs. We'll start in the NBA. Sacramento, money line. We'll move to the NHL. Kraken, money line. Bounce back. We lost yesterday. Finally ended the streak. We're coming back. Kraken, money line. Sharks, money line. And last but not least, Coyotes, money line. 4-teamer, all dogs.
Take SMU, Seton Hall, Colorado State, and Utah State. 4-teamer. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to try and act more professional tomorrow. Anything you guys say for yourself, Chris?
Not that I can think of.
Same thing, make you laugh, make you cry.
I know what Jay's got to say to take us out. We coming.
What?